Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Gabe. I'm going to start doing some Spider-Man PS4 content on this channel. So if you're interested in the game, you like content discussing what the game has to offer, some of the news coming out recently, stick around, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, so for today's video, what I want to talk about is a gameplay feature that I feel like I haven't really seen anybody else discuss. Nowhere on the internet have I really seen people talking about this, and I think it's something that's going to be really cool, and a part of the game that's so far a little underrated, people haven't really spoken about. Now, I'm not just playing this gameplay footage because it's awesome, even though it is. I'm actually playing this gameplay for a very specific reason, and the reason is because of destruction. And this destruction that you're seeing on screen from this gameplay demo is stuff that's happening in real time in the open world. Spider-Man, the player right now, is swinging through the open world and stuff is being destroyed left and right, like this sign. And all of this is happening actively in a mission that is not secluded to a closed space and a controlled space, but this is all happening in real time. So after this mission's over, you're just gonna keep swinging around, and I think that's so awesome and something that people haven't really pointed out. Spider-Man just went straight through a building. He's about to go through another one that a piece of machinery just crushed. He's indoors now, and this is all happening in the open world, and that's just incredible to me. Now, that's not all I want to really discuss. I mean, it's a big part, but there's more to it than that. I believe that that's going to play a big part, not just cool gameplay wise, because I can end this video right here and say Spider-Man has destructible environments, scripted destructible environments that take place in the open world and look really cool, and I could end it. But I think there's going to be more to this, and I think it's going to be a big part of the story. There's one big reason that gives me the suspicion. I'm going to play a clip from the Game Informer Impressions video, and I just want you to pay attention to what they're saying, and you'll see kind of why I think this.
And we saw a clip of a city street that looked pristine, people living there, looked warm, and a place you'd want to go. And then it cut to just a real quick shot of that same street with garbage piling up, cracks in the pavement, drones flying overhead.
Yeah.
But so they again didn't want to talk about it. They're like, oh,
cracks
you'll have to
in the pavement.
Yeah.
Well, it almost looked, I mean, like almost post-apocalyptic-y. I don't want to like,
yeah.
It just looked like
the Division.
It looks like
that.
So there's a big point of reference that I want to make, and unfortunately it kind of involves spoiling another game. So if you haven't played Batman Arkham Knight, I would highly suggest you tune out of this video, come back when you have, because I'm going to be talking about something major that happens in the third act of the game. I highly recommend you play it, but I'm going to be talking about it, so if you don't care, feel free to stick around, but this is your last chance. I'm going to get into it. And okay, so when I think about open world games changing up a lot, this is the first thing I think of, and it's Batman Arkham Knight in the third act when Scarecrow completely sends out the poison gas or the fear gas all across the city, and it changes up the open world completely. Not completely, but you know, it's a really big effect that's happening. All the NPCs are acting different, and it looks really different. So how do I think this is gonna happen? Well, I think there's one thing in the Paris Games Week story trailer that could point to what this destruction of the city and this impact of the city could possibly be.
What is this? Devil's breath.
Alright, so I'm just going to try to protect everybody. So if you don't want to know too much about the story, what Devil's Breath is, how that could impact the story, I suggest you tune out. But since I'm familiar with the comics already and kind of know what Devil's Breath is, then I'm going to talk about it. But if you don't want to, last chance, here we go. Devil's Breath is a bioweapon that Mr. Negative wanted to use to get rid of some crime families, I believe. And in the game, it looks like it's going to have a pretty significant effect radius. And he says something in the trailer towards his goals that kind of makes sense with my theory.
Your city and everything you care about will be destroyed. People will beg you for help, but you won't be able to save them.
Get more backup.
So then after this, we see a bunch of destruction happening, a bunch of explosions. Mr. Negative's on top right here, and it makes me think that maybe Mr. Negative succeeds. Maybe he lets Devil's Breath loose and it causes a bunch of ruckus in the city. The government has to be shut down, to a situation that's a little bit similar to Arkham Knight, but has even more devastating effects, because in Arkham Knight there were no civilians. The city was evacuated. In here, Spider-Man PS4, New York is New York. Everybody's there, and unless the city gets evacuated again here in this situation, people are gonna die. And I think that would be really crazy, really interesting, really cool to see how that affects Spider-Man as a character, affects Peter, you know, to see him fail in such a large way. Maybe Mr. Negative succeeds. And that's just one theory that I have. And that's all I wanted to talk about. So if you really enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. As cliche in YouTube speak as it has become, it shows me that you enjoyed this content and you want to see more content like this. If you have a different theory, you disagree with my theory, leave it in the comment section. I'd love to read that stuff and see what you guys think. I just want to engage with the Spider-Man PS4 community, the Spider-Man community in general. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, and I would love to keep making videos for him if you guys love watching them. So thanks for checking this video out. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my @ is basegarbanzo. I'll put it up on the screen. See you guys later.